At 11:56 p.m. on 7/9/14, a call came from 222 Manor Drive in Port Huron, Michigan, the home of Gabriel Johnson. Mr. Johnson stated that he had heard loud yelling and a commotion coming from his neighbor's house at 220 Manor Drive, the home of Macy Green. He heard what sounded like gunshots, and officers were quickly responded to the scene. Upon arrival, I came across 24-year-old Macy Green lying naked on her kitchen floor. She had been sexually assaulted, and she claimed that her boyfriend, Mitchell Gardner, had done it. She also stated that he had fired two shots at her from what she knew to be a .45 caliber handgun. Miss Green had been sent for examination by a medical team at Port Huron Hospital, and Mr. Gardner's car was found in the driveway of the home with the doors open. The witness was interviewed at the scene and several days after. He did not remember any extra facts, simply restated what he had told the 911 operator, that he had heard a commotion, woke him up, and then he heard some gunshots and immediately called the police. That's the extent of the witness statement. The suspect was interviewed in his home, where he claimed that he had left the car with Miss Green and that he was nowhere near the area of the attack when it happened. He said they had been in a fight and he was not welcome in her home at the moment, but she did have possession of his Mr. Gardner was taken into custody after the victim's statement had been taken, and she named him as the person who had committed the crime. He was then interviewed and eventually interrogated. Um, After using several different techniques, including circular questioning, we seem to have gotten him to admit that he was in fact the person who broke into the crime. He claims that the gun went off on accident and that he had it just to scare her, but he did admit that he did in fact break into the house and hold her at gunpoint. A written statement has been taken and will be issued to the court. There was very little information go on in this case. Mostly the victim's statement is what led us to the eventual apprehension of the suspect. Um, the bullets were not recovered from the scene, and the gun was never found. What really led us to him was just the simple victim's statement, and eventually he did, in fact, admit to being there, so cooperation by the suspect. Some of the issues encountered by the officers working on the investigation were to be careful not to go ahead and just uh, let their preconceived notions fly. While we were pretty sure we knew who the suspect was and what he was doing, um, we needed to make sure that we did, in fact, still seek out the details and do a thorough investigation just in case, someone somewhere was lying. Eventually, again, there was a confession made, so we would have to consider that a success. And we were very careful to make sure to record everything that happened in the interrogation room, and so that there's definite evidence that no laws were broken and the issue wasn't forced too hard in questioning.